Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another Tough Love Tuesday. It feels like I just did this, and then lo and behold, it's a week later, and I'm jumping in and doing this again. I can't believe how quickly the weeks are flying by. And we are officially into spring. I hope you're all as excited as me, and wherever you are in the world. First things first, thank you so much for everyone who shows up every week for these little quick 10-minute snippets of tough love that I have for you every week. I've got another great one today, kind of themed around spring, and we'll get to that in just a quick second. But I just want to say thank you to all of you who do take time to comment below these videos. It means a lot to me to kind of keep this conversation going. I'm doing these videos inside our private community here. And yes, I also share them on my YouTube channel as well if you ever want to go back and watch them there. Um, but it's really, in an effort to build this communication in our group and start these deeper conversations than just what should I eat. And I really want to shout out and encourage all of you to use this group for that. I know that there hasn't been a lot going on in there, and I really want you to know that this is a place for you to get that support. And if anything from these videos brings that up for you, and if you're watching this video on YouTube, you can use the comment section below or come over and join us in the Facebook group, and really keep this going, because being surrounded with other women who get it and are willing to have these conversations and being in a safe space is completely life changing. Like, that is how we shift, and that is how we grow towards our goals in this container of safety. So that's what our community is, and I encourage you to use it in whatever way you need, and for all of you to show up for each other here. I mean, we're really needing to co-create community in a different way now since the pandemic, and we can do this online, and it really does take all of us, and I'm calling to all of you to show up and step up for each other and comment and support and all that stuff that we can do online. So wanted to say that. I also just wanted to shout out, because I literally just got back into my house from a little outing that I took. For a lot of you probably know that I have created, over the last few years, I've created two cookbooks. So they're virtual cookbooks, they're PDF download cookbooks that are all of my favorite sugar-free, healthy, easy, simple, amazing recipes. And I love those cookbooks. I know a lot of my clients have those cookbooks, and some of you have probably already purchased those cookbooks. You can go and do that on my website. Anyone who's really lacking in inspiration or wants some ideas around healthy sugar-free meals that actually taste delicious and aren't overly complicated. I've got two editions. I've got a fall and winter edition and a spring and summer edition. And obviously, we're kind of shifting into summer, and what we eat and how we eat shifts as the season shifts. So that was very much my intention, with kind of separating out the recipes and more cooked, warming foods in the fall and winter, more light, airy, fresh, raw vegetables and things in the spring. So the reason I'm talking about these cookbooks again, because I've had them up on, you can get your copy for the last couple of years on the website, is that I think my first edition of these books was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I just printed myself copies. So physically, I had these professionally done at the print shop here in town, and I've got them professionally made. And I just wanted to show you, because when I created these, it wasn't the intention to format them, which is actually quite difficult for anybody who's ever tried to do something like this before. It's really tricky with the photos and formatting the right size and everything, so it looks good printed versus electronically. So I just stuck with the electronic version because it's easy and simple, and I can keep the cost down for all of you as well who want to purchase a copy. But I just went and did this for myself, and I wanted to just like shamelessly plug my cookbooks because it's so beautiful, so beautiful. So that's the spring one, and then I've got the fall one as well. And yes, the immediate question I'm going to get from a lot of you is, where can we buy a physical version as well? And this is really inspiring me to see what I can do to make that happen. These were not cheap to print, and I would hate to overcharge you for a printed copy. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. It's not as simple as it seems, just to print out this big, amazing book on this really thick, beautiful paper with all this color and all the stuff at a cost that makes it effective. But I just did this for myself. It was a little gift for myself. I love this photo on the back. Yeah, and they look really good. So I'm very impressed with myself, and I wanted to just plug that with all of you because these recipes are so good. And these are my go-to recipes. So I need copies of these to keep in my kitchen because I prefer having a physical version of something as well. And so there you have it. I just wanted to show these awesome, that's the backs of them, cookbooks, that if anybody is missing one or wants one, again, just a reminder that electronic versions, the PDF downloads, and you can print your own, obviously, are available for sale on my website. So go check that out. Okay, enough of that. I just was so excited. I had to share that with you. I just picked them up from the printer today and they blew my mind. Can't wait to get cooking. So today's tough love. Okay, let's get to it. So as you'll see in the title of this video, I kind of give away the tough love topic every week. But I've been having a lot of conversations, and I'm laughing to myself because a lot of the conversations that I have with my clients seem to have absolutely nothing to do with food, nothing to do with nutrition or health or all this. But as we dive into that conversation deeper, we realize that everything really does start with us, and it all comes from this place. Any struggle that we are having in our life comes from our inner world, our belief patterns, our mindset, our values, all of it, our identity, all these inner pieces in us. So when lately, naturally, I've been having a lot of conversations about spring cleaning and about tidying up our home and organizing your kitchen and getting rid of things that are bogging up your spare bedroom, right? I can't believe how many people in my group, in my Break Free from Sugar group right now, are even mentioning like that, right? That and in my other community, like, okay, there's so much going on. I've been trying to clean up and trying to get organized. I know a lot of my clients are currently working on this. So this is what spurred a lot of this conversation. I've been having some conversations one-on-one with my clients the last couple of weeks, and some of them are really struggling in getting rid of stuff. So I knew that I had to bring this forward because this very, 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 very much applies to this deeper work. And I wanted to share this tough love with you today because if you're that type of person that right now thinking about getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff from your house or clearing out your basement or whatever, getting rid of half the stuff in your kitchen, if that brings you anxiety and causes like a trigger for you, then this may be what's going on for you. Okay. And I really want you to reflect on this and sit with this. Also, if you're someone who notices that you're constantly purchasing new things, okay, maybe it's online shopping on Amazon, maybe it's going into the store and buying things that you don't really need, but you need, right? You feel like you need them, and constantly bringing things into your home. There's two sides to that, right? But I want to offer this as a little tough love piece, is that stuff for many of us is just a way to fill a void. Okay. This void, usually, between our sort of heart chakra and our stomachs as well, like this torso, there's kind of this emptiness. And for a lot of us, or a lot of human beings, I mean, we live in such a consumerism world. We've learned to fill that void with things. And this is where, when we're trying to get rid of those things, we feel like we're getting rid of a piece of ourselves because we've used that thing to fill up and kind of I use as a piece of our identity. And this void that we're feeling actually has nothing to do with food. And when you can start to acknowledge that there is a void, that there is something that you're missing, whether it's deep connection or deep love with yourself or understanding and connection to your true identity, or maybe you're missing your purpose or a connection to something bigger than you and your spirituality. For each of us, it's different. There's a void there. And for you, it's going to be a different void than it would be for me. But I really wanted to offer this as hopefully a really eye-opening thing that you're doing. You might be doing. A lot of people fill this void with food, with sugar, with any other addiction, right? This numbing out, this void, but we can do that with stuff as well. So right here, right now, I want you to get brutally honest with yourself. Like, is this a pattern that you're noticing for you? And for some of you, it might not be, right? This is it might absolutely have nothing to do with you, but maybe you are noticing this, and maybe there's a hint inside you right now, going, "Ooh, yeah, like I do have a hard time getting rid of things, that are bogging me down." And one of the most empowering things that we can do, obviously, understanding what's missing, right? And where that void is for you and why it's there, and doing the work to fill it with without needing things or food or to go outside of yourself, right? So we have all the tools to get what we need inside. And when you start to notice these patterns of trying to get this from outside, especially, love, trying to get it from other people instead of just getting it from yourself, it really sets you up for a lifetime of constantly searching for that thing. But when we can really learn and tune into ourselves and get everything that we need, fill our own bucket up without needing things or people or food, that is where true freedom comes from, and healing and all of this amazing stuff. So I want to offer that to you. And I also want to offer you an invitation to experience what's on the other side of that. I'm grateful personally. I grew up with a clean freak father, and we never had excess stuff. If we left something laying on the floor, it was gone, and that was it. Like we needed to put it away, or it was like it would disappear because he was constantly on tidy cleanup duty. And I'm grateful for that. And my lifestyle over the last many years with moving and traveling, and I've lived periods of time where I've lived a whole year just with what in my backpack when I went to South America. So that minimalism, like not having a lot of stuff, has really helped me compare the two. There was a time in my life where, I went off to university and I wanted to have all the things. It made me feel whole. It made me feel like, I was getting everything that I needed. And I reached for buying things or purchasing to bring me happiness or to bring me that sense of connection or comfort, right? All these things that I would bring into my house. And, it wasn't until I started doing these trips where I could only live with what's in my backpack, that I really realized that actually the truth of it is the less stuff I had, the happier I was, because stuff actually carries a lot of energetic charge. And when we are able to clear out stuff, physically, we can also create that space in ourselves to enjoy life. And now, it's the opposite for me. And I'm so grateful for that. I love having only things that bring me joy and happiness and really being intentional with the purchases I make, the things I allow in my house. And, yesterday I actually did a huge, for those of you who have been following, or have been kind of connected to me for more than a year now, that we're in renovation mode, and we built an IKEA kitchen. So we had this huge order from IKEA, and we had ordered a bunch of extra stuff that we weren't going to use, and we had that stored in our shed outside, and there was so much stuff that we needed to return. And we live not close to an IKEA, let's just say that. So it was kind of weighing me down, this waste of this stuff that wasn't even in my physical house. I didn't even see it every day. It was in a shed outside, but I know it's there, and I know that it needed to be returned. And it was this huge mountain of stuff that was taking up space in my house that I could use for something else or in on the property. Yesterday, we finally returned it months later, and I just felt such a lightness. Like I know that that space there is now empty, and we can organize it and get more organized with the things that we need to go in that shed, like some of my gardening stuff. And it just felt energetically light. And I want to invite you to experience that as well. When you can understand that stuff isn't you. It's not an extension of you. Okay? Who you are has nothing to do with what you own or where you live or who you hang out with, and really filling your cup from the inside instead of externally. Okay? So and know that once you start down that path, it becomes so freeing to release things, to release this stuff. And now I love it. Whenever actually this morning I was organizing our drawers because we picked some drawer organizers from IKEA, and I found a whole bunch of stuff that can go to the thrift store and that I can get rid of. And it was just so fun. It was like a scavenger hunt. I was like, "Ooh, yes, I can get rid of some things now and clear out even more." There's always stuff to clear out. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I mean, this is a big conversation, but as we're all thinking about spring cleaning a little bit, I encourage you to just get started wherever that is in your home, that is really weighing you down the most. Okay, whether it's all the boxes in the spare bedroom or whether it's your kitchen cupboards that you can't even open, whatever it is, that's really going to make the biggest energetic shift on you. And once you start getting in the flow of it, it becomes addicting, and you can really start to get rid of things and really clear out energetic mental space for yourself to really enjoy life. So that's my hope for all of you, and it really starts with awareness. So if this is a pattern that's coming up for you, know that you're not alone. And I can see some yeses in the comments. You're definitely not alone. And it really just is a matter of understanding this and making a decision to change it, making a decision to say, okay, I'm no longer going to fill this void with that. And I'm going to actually look at the void and figure out what it is that it needs and give it, find ways to get that from myself, or healthy ways to fill that void and actually take action in my life where maybe I need to and things are missing. So there you have it. That's all tough love for all of you today. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And as always, let me know what's coming up for you below. I would love to hear your commitments to maybe cleaning up some of the spaces in your house, or even just any comments or thoughts that are coming up for you around this being a pattern for you. Let's. I'm here to support you. We'll do that in the comments below, and I'm so grateful for all of you again being here, showing up, and I hope you have a beautiful week. I'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye, everyone.